Welcome back to my YouTube channel, y'all. Today's topic is going to be a little bit more relaxed. We're going to talk about some hair growth tips, y'all. And I just want to use this video to dispel the myth that black girls cannot grow long hair. Now, I know my hair is pulled back, so you kind of can't really see like how I'm winging or whatever, but I am probably about 4 inches from having waist length hair. I never thought as a little girl that I could actually grow like waist length hair. And it's funny because growing up, I always had a bunch of cousins that had this super thick and super long hair. I mean, like a lot of my older cousins' hair was like butt length. And these are like black girls, you know, they're not mixed with nothing. You know how people think, oh, are you mixed with something? No, black and black, you know, is what I am. And just had this super long waist length hair. So, you know, when I got older, when I became an adult and I saw that I still had damaged hair just from like all these crazy decisions that I made when I was younger, coloring my hair, not taking care of my hair when I was in college, and, you know, not washing my hair with the right products and not detangling my hair right and all these other things. You know, as black women, it's just so much that goes into, you know, our hair care. But what I'm really learning, especially like specifically for my hair, is that in order for it to grow, it really was all about like simple steps to growing my hair. So I'm going to share what worked for me. Y'all can comment below if y'all have some other hair growth tips that have worked for you guys, but I really hope that y'all find this video beneficial. And don't forget, make sure that you subscribe because I'm about to get your hair popping too. So tip number 1 on my hair growth journey is that you have to really figure out the personality of your hair. Something that I've always aspired to have is like just voluminous, you know, really thick hair. Like, I'm the type of person that when I see women with 4C hair, I'm going to turn my head because I think it's so beautiful. Like the coils, the thickness, like all just the variety of like what they can do to their hair. Like, I mean, it is like they just have like gorgeous hair to me, right? So that was something that I've always aspired to have. But when God made me, he didn't put me, you know, in the 4C line. I'm more along the lines of like I don't know, 3B, whatever they say. I just know my hair is really fine, really soft, and it's more so like wavier versus like being on like the coily side. And so I had to really figure out what was going to work for the personality of my hair versus trying to take care of my hair in the same way that my sister does, or the same way that my mom does, and my friends, and, you know, other people that have totally different type of hair than me. So for me and my hair's personality, I realized that a lot of heat does not work. So I really don't put a lot of heat in my hair. We probably do heat maybe like every 3 months when I'm like doing like, you know, a limb check and I'm getting a trim. But definitely being lean on the heat is something that has really helped astronomically with growing my hair. I'm going to lean right into tip number 2 is making sure that you're keeping up on your trims. That probably has been like the biggest thing in my hair growth journey. Like, we don't do that enough, especially because a lot of us, we wear our hair in its natural state. So we like the curls and the coils. And so we feel like, oh, I don't want to straighten it as much because it's going to mess up, you know, my texture and da-da-da-da-da. But you need to make sure that you're staying on top of your trims. And for some people, they can get trims every 4 months. For me and my hair personality, which we just talked about, that wasn't working because I started off that once I was keeping up with my trims, I was getting them done every 4 months. But then it would be like, we would notice at my ends, it would be like a little bit of like splitting, right? And so with the splitting, my stylist said, we need to start doing your trims every 3 months so that we can basically catch it before it's doing, you know, she said basically what your hair is telling you is that it needs to be trimmed a little bit more than every 4 months. So once we started doing them every 3 month trims, y'all, when I say my hair then started running, I'm talking about, I be looking at like the progress pictures and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, I cannot believe that I was just here 3 months ago and then now I'm here. So keeping up with my trims has been something that is so very important. Another tip, and I know I said 3, but I feel like I'm really about to have like 5, y'all. But another tip is, just because a hairstyle is cute does not mean that it is a hairstyle that you should get. So I'm gonna make some hairstylists mad. I don't care. Don't try to get funny in the comments because I'm gonna get funny back. But microlinks. it's a no. Microlinks, tape ends, what's the other thing that they do, the little like bead things that they do. I get hairstylists all the time. Like, people will literally see me out in the street and they will say, you are the perfect candidate for microlinks. Your hair is really long, but it's really fine. We could give you all the volume. And y'all know I told y'all that was my aspirations. I was praying to God about that. God, where's the volume? Where's the coils? I want a little bit more fullness. But the manipulation that Microlinks does on your hair, pulling it this way, pulling it that way, the excessive heat that you have to put in your hair to keep up with the style, ultimately it is going to damage your hair. Now, I'm not a hairstylist, but you can ask any hairstylist that doesn't offer microlinks, because the ones that offer them are not going to tell you the truth. They're going to say, oh no, we just take care of it. I'm telling you that your hair is not going to be the same. Now, you might have some people that have a really strong grain of hair that they might see some breakage, but it's not really like excessive breakage. But I know for me, as fine and soft as my hair is, it would just tear my hair up. Like, I know it would be shedding. You know, I already have thin hair. Like, it's just something that absolutely just would not work with my hair. So, you know, just because a style is cute does not mean that it's something that you need to put in your hair. Another thing is, I know a lot of us, we wear braids all the time. It's convenient, you know, it's wake up and go and don't got to do much. And, you know, but the tension that braids can put on your hair can be very damaging. Even wearing braids all the time, because you're having braids under your wigs. When I was still wearing wigs all the time, it was doing good for like growing my hair, because it was helping like to protect it and not have like a bunch of heat on it and things like that. But the braids were making my hair shed. You know, we would go and detangle my hair and it was still clumps of hair coming out, basically from the tension that these braids were pretty much putting on my hair. So just because a hairstyle is cute does not mean that it should go in your hair. Go on YouTube, go on Google, go on Twitter, go wherever you need to go. Ask your girlfriend that got this hairstyle before, how did it do on your hair, to make sure that you're not styling your hair in a way that is going to be damaging. So tip number 4, please eat your greens. I'm telling y'all, that makes a big difference with growing your hair. Now, I don't have no magic, you know, potion. I don't take any hair vitamins or anything like that, but I do eat relatively, catch that, relatively, I do eat relatively healthy. In the morning, I try to start my day with something green. I'm not always successful, but I'm gonna say probably 5 out of 7 days of the week, I'm starting my day with the green smoothie. I'm throwing some spinach in there. I'm throwing some dandelion in there. I'm throwing some hemp seeds in there. I mean, if y'all like just look at some of the other videos on my YouTube channel, I done showed y'all times, you know, of me making like different smoothie recipes and things like that. But I mean, what you're eating is something that is going to matter. A lot of people are struggling with growing their hair because they're very deficient in vitamin C. A lot of people are deficient, you know, in other vitamins and minerals and nutrients and whatever they call it. So I would recommend, if you've been struggling with growing your hair, is getting some labs done and actually seeing if it's anything in your body that you might actually, you know, be deficient in. Last but not least, y'all, I feel like when I get to my last tip, I always struggle a little bit, because I'm like, dang, I want to say the best one. I want to make sure, you know, that I don't leave anything out. I want to give them that one that's going to, you know, be like the jaw dropper of all of the tips, right? But I would say for my last tip, stay away from color. I don't do any kind of color. And let me tell y'all, when I see women that have like darker hair, I'm always like, oh my goodness, that's so gorgeous. Like, my hair is kind of like more darker now because I spent so many years like dyeing it like jet black and stuff. But naturally, my hair is kind of like more of like a sandy. And it's so crazy because when people see my son, he has like that light hair like I had. They'll be like, where does he get this hair color from? And I'll be just cracking up like, oh my God, like that used to be my hair, like that sandy looking brown color, you know, when I was a kid. But color just tore my hair off like terribly. And again, let me just let y'all know, disclaimer, I'm not a hairstylist and I'm talking about, you know, what has worked for my own hair. But I do feel like color does a little bit better on people that have a thicker texture, a more coarse hair. But for me, and you know, my little fine hairs, that color was like stripping my hair out like immediately. So I don't do the color. I don't do a bunch of products. I do make sure that I oil my hair every other day. I will post the link because the oil is a big thing too. Basically, every other day, rubbing some oil in your hands and actually massaging your scalp is something that I do. I'll post a link to the oil that I use, but that's really it. I keep it very simple. I feel like less is more, and it has grown my hair, tremendously. I'm mindful of the heat, like I shared with you guys, and I'm mindful of what we do and how I style my hair. And yeah, it just continues to be constantly growing, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I hope that these tips help you guys and you see some hair growth on your journey too. Don't forget to comment below and share any tips that you might have, and I will see y'all in the next video.